Good evening. Before I get started, in a previous video, I mistakenly referred to an Iron Maiden album as "For the Greater Good of God." The Iron Maiden album was actually a matter of life and death. That, along with Dance of Death and The Final Frontier, are the three Iron Maiden albums I don't care for. However, I recently ordered Book of Souls off Discogs. Glad to have an account there because you can get almost anything there. Well, except for the politically controversial, but I'm not going to get into that. It's a great site nonetheless. Okay. Two more bands I discovered. Three more bands I discovered through Discogs. Absu. This is called The Son of Tipperath. Mystic Circle. The Great Beast. Mystic Circle. Open the Gates of Hell. And a band called Mystica. Blinded by My Blood. Yeah, they're in Digipacks. And for the record, I kind of like Digipacks. I know a lot of people just hate them. And as we know, Best Buy is no longer selling CDs. So when I went in today, it was no surprise they didn't have the new Megadeth Killing Is My Business Deluxe Edition. But they had this, the new Black Dahlia album. They're trying to get rid of all their CD that they have in stock, which is understandable. And I picked up a most recent edition of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Now, my recent video, I ended up having to redo it because it was too long. So I redid it and just made it a Motley Crue ranking video. They said I had an unverified account or whatever, or the video was too long for my account or some bullshit like that. I don't know. I'm still getting the hang of making videos. And having lost access to my previous account, it's been a little more challenging. Motley Crue DVDs, Greatest Hits, Lewd, Crude, Tattooed, Motley Crue Live. Carnival of Sins. Oh, yeah. And the Lewd, Crude, Tattoo DVD has the very first song they ever recorded. When they went to do the remasters in '99, poor Nicky got blamed for losing the tape it was recorded onto. Luckily, they found it. Okay. And the box sets. These were limited. And I heard they were going to come out. I told everyone at work that I was going to get them if I had to run 100 miles. They thought I was pretty extreme. Has both versions of Too Fast for Love, the 1982 9-track version, and the original with 10 tracks, Stick to Your Guns, which was on the 1981 version. They put out 3 vinyl versions and 1 cassette version on Leather Records. In 1982, they signed with Elektra. Leather versions were pulled from the shelves and forgotten about for so many years. I remember back in middle school, or maybe it was 9th grade, we had a rock station here in Houston, 106.9 Z-Rock. They played Stick to Your Guns and Toast of the Town, and they said this was early Motley Crue that didn't make the Too Fast for Love album. So I was excited to hear early Motley Crue that didn't make the album. If they did mention Leather Records, they mentioned it briefly, but still, it wasn't until the internet. Then I was able to do my research. When I first saw these Leather original mixes back in 2003 when I bought this, it's like, what were those? Some type of demo or some versions that were hidden away. But yeah, after doing my research on the internet, I got into them much more than ever before. Okay, and disc 2, Shout at the Devil. Since they put both 2 album versions on one disc, they had to move the Too Fast for Love bonus tracks onto the second disc. So, anyhow, moving on, disc 3, Theater of Pain. Disc 4, Girls, Girls, Girls. Box set 2, Dr. Feelgood. I like to get it for free song. I think it's funny. The Time for Change demo is so awesome. Time for Change and She Goes Down, sadly underrated. Disc 2 is a modified reissue of Decade of Decadence. Alright, good. Make sure it's not blurry. Y'all can read this. Disc 3, Motley Crue self-titled with the Japanese bonus track Hypnotize. Disc 4, Quaternary with the Japanese bonus tracks and a few extra bonus tracks as well. The only difference between Living in the Know, the demo, and the Living in the Know on the CD self-titled re-release is the way it's spelled. Okay, that's the only difference as far as I could tell, sound-wise. Anyhow, that will conclude my most recent video. And hopefully I didn't go over a certain time limit. So if anyone knows anything about that, I guess you have to go ahead and fill me in on that. And thank y'all very much. Good night.